Hi, this is a level 3 class to help invigorate you and boost your energy. So when you're ready, we're going to get onto our back in our relaxation position. So knees bent, feet flat. Find your spinal alignment. So your pelvis is in neutral, your spine is in neutral, back of the shoulders heavy, collarbones spread wide, gaze up toward the ceiling, and lengthen the fingers and toes long. So we'll begin with our hundreds breathing, where we just take an inhale for 5 and exhale for 5. Now, when you do this, I want you to inhale through the nose and into the width of your rib cage, and then exhaling out of the mouth, drawing navel to spine, switching on pelvic floor, finding that nice strong abdominal connection. So let's begin. We'll take a breath in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. One more in your own time. Okay, let's now take that into our curl ups. So interlacing the fingers behind your head, elbows just forward of your eye line so you can see them in your peripheral vision, lengthening those thumbs down the back of your neck for extra head support. We're going to take that timing of the breath into our curl up. So we'll begin, prepare with a breath in, and then as we exhale, we're going to come into curl up for a count of 5, and then inhale, come back down for a count of 5. Okay, so I'll talk you through it. Breathe in to prepare. And then exhaling, curling up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then inhale, curl back down. 3, 4, 5. Then exhale, chin to chest, curling up. 4, 5. And then inhale, coming back down. 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 4, 5. And then inhale, come back down. 4, 5. Good. Keep going by yourself. So find a length of breath that works for you. All that matters is that they're just equal in length. Okay, so you're getting that rhythm going of that exhale, curl up, and that equal length of inhale, curl back down. So let's not forget about the flexion of the upper spine, rolling one vertebrae at a time off the floor as we curl up, keeping the head heavy in the hands and not moving our pelvis here. Good, and then on your next one, we are going to stay up in our curl up, and then take a breath in, hold it. As you exhale, bring that right knee in toward the chest without moving your pelvis, and then inhale, lower that right foot back down. And then exhale, bring that left knee in, and inhale, come back down. Good, so keep going with this. We're trying to keep this pelvic control whilst holding our curl up position. Keep your head heavy in your hands. So a lot of work here going on in the abdominals to make sure that your pelvis isn't rocking side to side. You're not just lowering through your lower back and tucking your tailbone to get that knee fold. It's just from the hip joint here. So it's just your thigh bone moving towards your belly without your pelvis rolling back. Good, let's go one more each side. Also just checking that that head is super heavy in those hands so we don't fatigue in the neck. Good, and then rolling back down out of our curl up. Release your hands from behind your head and bring them up toward the ceiling, palms facing each other. Breathe in, and on an exhale, come into a double knee fold. So one knee in and then the other, keeping that spine and pelvis still. So we're going to keep our legs in double knee fold and do some flies. So on a breath in, we're going to open the arms wide. So we're trying to get the hands as far away from each other as possible without lifting the rib cage. And then exhale, bring those hands back in towards each other. Then inhale, open those arms wide. And exhale, bringing it back in. Good. So now we've got the arm movement. We're now going to straighten those legs, and we're going to add a little bum lift or a little posterior pelvic tilt. So we inhale, reach those arms away. And then as you exhale and bring the arms together, you're going to just tuck your tailbone and try to get your toes to reach the ceiling. And then release. Inhale, those arms go wide. Then exhale, bring hands together and bum tuck. Inhale, lower the bum, take the arms wide. Exhale, lift the bum, bring the arms together. Good, keep going. So you'll feel that bum tuck work your lower abdominals. And I don't want you to feel like you're trying to swing your legs back towards your face. I want you to think about lifting your legs higher toward the ceiling. Good, let's just do one more. Nice. Let's now take the arms wide with palms facing up. So arms resting down on the floor with palms facing up, and bend back into those knees. So still in double knee fold. And we'll go for some hip rolls here. So breathing in. Exhale, take your knees over to the right, but make sure that you can take your knees back to center as you breathe in here, that you haven't gone too far, that you have to push yourself off the floor to help take those knees back. So we exhale, go to the left, and breathe in, bring them back to center. Good, keep going. If you'd rather stay there in your hip roll for an inhale and use your exhale to bring those knees back to center, that's absolutely fine if you need that exhale for a bit of extra help to bring those knees over. But what we're aiming for here is that you're not losing control of that rotation. So you shouldn't let your legs get so heavy that you have to then bring your spine out of neutral. So it's neutral but in rotation. So we're not extending through the spine. So you're not letting those ribs flare when those knees go over to the side, and you're not losing that neutral position of the spine to bring the knees back. So it's all core control. Beautiful. Finishing with one more to the left. And then coming back to center. Those legs are going to stay in the double knee fold. We now bring the hands up toward the ceiling, palms facing forward this time. We're going to do a rib cage closure. So take a breath in. And then exhale, reach the arms all the way behind you, closing the ribs down, reaching the fingers as far away from you as possible. Doesn't matter if the arms touch the floor or not. Inhale, bring the arms back up toward the ceiling. And exhale, bringing the arms behind you as far as you can without flaring the ribs. Good. Inhale, come back to center. We're now going to add a double toe tap. So it's as you exhale, reaching the arms behind you, both feet are going to lower as far as you can toward the floor, as far as you can. Keep control of the pelvis. Little tap on the floor if you can reach the floor, and then inhale, come back to center. So exhale, close the ribs, draw the belly in, keep control of the pelvis and the rib cage at the same time as the feet and the arms lower, then inhale, come back to center. Good, keep going. So remember, you don't have to touch the floor with either arms or feet. It's just as far away as you can reach them from each other without losing that hip rib connection. So without losing that core control, your center. Lovely, let's go for one more. Good, and then releasing those feet down toward the floor. And reach your arms up overhead and lengthen the legs long. So I want you to take a nice rib cage flare here. So lose that feeling of hip rib connection and just take a stretch. So reach your arms nice and long. Reach your legs nice and long. Take a few deep breaths. And then we will get into our roll-ups. So let's now bring our hip rib connection back. So you'll see that the ribs start to lower again. So you're starting to find that center. Engage through your legs. I don't mind if your feet are pointed or flexed. Take a breath in. And then exhale, reach the arms toward the ceiling, tuck the chin, and you're rolling all the way up and forward over those legs for 3, 2, 1. Pulses, reach back through the belly, scoop, 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 come all the way back down, and then reach those arms back overhead again. Inhale. Exhale, tuck your chin, rolling all the way up, reaching forward for 3, 2, 1. Feeling that lovely hamstring stretch, pulling back through the core, scooping, finding your lower back into the ground as you lower. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. And exhale, ribs close as the arms come over, scooping through the belly, rolling up all the way through, reaching 3, 2, 1. We've just got one more here. So scoop back through the belly, control it on the way down. Inhale, reach those arms. And exhale, arms forward, chin tucks, rolling all the way up. And then come into a neutral seated position. We're just going to use a nice little transition to come into our single leg stretch. So you're going to bend your right knee, take your left hand on top of the knee, the right hand onto the shin. And then you're going to bring the knee in toward the chest, scoop through the tummy and tuck the tailbone, and then start to roll back towards the floor with control. So by the time that your lower back lands on the floor, your left leg can lift, and we are in our single leg stretch position. Let's just do that one more time in case you didn't get it. So we're going to press the leg into the hand to come all the way back up. Sit nice and tall. Take a breath in. And then we exhale, scoop through the belly, tuck the tailbone, keep pressing the leg into the hands, let the left leg lift so that you come into a counterbalance, ready for single leg stretch. Beautiful. Let's take a breath in and exhale, switch, inhale, switch, exhale, switch, inhale, switch. Good. So keep doing 2 changes per breath. That opposite hand comes to opposite knee. And your outside hand goes to your shin. Keep looking down towards your navel and use your hip flexors as well to bring those knees in to your single leg stretch, knee bend. Good, one more each side. Beautiful, keep those knees bent, stay in your curl up if you can. We're going to go straight into our double leg stretch. So we're going to inhale, reach the arms and legs away. Exhale, circle the arms, pull the knees in. Inhale, lengthen arms and legs. Exhale, pull in. Good. So keep gaze towards your navel to keep your curl up nice and high. Use your hip flexors to draw the knees in, not just your hands. That's going to make sure that your pelvis stays in its neutral position. You can keep your heels connected and knees apart. Good. One more. Straight into our single straight leg stretch. So lengthen the right leg toward the ceiling, lengthen the left leg towards the mat, grab hold of the right ankle. We're going to do a little pull, pull of the right leg and switch. Pull, pull of the left leg, switch, pull, pull right, pull, pull left. Good, keep going. Good, so inhaling to switch legs, exhaling to do your pull, pull. Good, so that core will be on fire now. Obviously rest if you are losing your form. So we want to make sure that we have quality movement here. Good, one more on each leg. Beautiful, bending the knees, rolling the head back down. Place the feet on the floor and then just roll the head side to side just to loosen up through your neck. Well done. But of course, the core work doesn't end there. We are now going to come into our teaser. So we're just going to start with one leg first, alternating, and then we're going to go for both legs at the same time if it's available to you. So we'll do it like how we do a roll-up, okay? So we're going to reach the arms overhead, legs go long, active through the legs, take a breath in. And then as you exhale, come into that roll-up movement. But as you roll up, bring your right leg up at the same time, keeping that right leg straight. Good. Start to lower back down as you lower the right leg. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Exhale, roll up, left leg lifts as you come into that roll up. Good, inhale, come back. Good, rolling up. Good. And one more with the left. Nice. Let's now do both legs at the same time. Okay, so we take a breath in. Exhale, chin to chest. Bring both legs up, reaching up, holding it there. Good. And then we control it all the way down, arms and legs, or upper body and legs lower at the same time. Reach the arms overhead. Breath in. Exhale, pull that core in to bring your legs up into that teaser. Good. Lowering back down. We've just got one more. Beautiful. And then bring those legs down. Let's come into some side lying work. So first we're going to do our side kick kneeling. When we do side kick kneeling, we're going to start on our knees. So we're in our kneeling position. Take your arms out wide, and then you're just going to lean over to the left. Find the floor and lengthen that right leg long. So we want to check here that this left knee is directly underneath the left hip. So we're not in a side plank where we're making a line with our shoulders, hips, and knee. The knee is under the left hip, okay? And then we're on the left hand. Bring the right hand behind the head or just behind the ear, but make sure you're not pulling your head forward with that right hand. Draw the core in, lift through the underside of your body, and we're going to lift that right leg. Flex the foot. We're going to take the leg forward, then point the foot, bring the leg back. Good. So we bring the leg forward. Inhale, bring the leg back. Exhale, flex the foot, bring it forward. Good. Keep going. So inhaling back, exhaling forward. And then if the point of flex of the foot is too confusing, don't worry, just make sure that your leg is active and you're lengthening out of your hip joint. And we're not moving the pelvis or the spine here. So we're keeping our torso, our center completely still. We're just moving at the hip joint. Good, one more. Nice. And then place that right foot back down. And we're going to come into our mermaid side plank. So if you can, we're going to take both feet up. So we're holding our side plank position. Any shoulder issues, you can walk your left hand a little bit further out so you've got a little bit more of a stable support. So like left hand further forward so that arm is on a slight diagonal. It's a little bit more supportive for the shoulder. Of course, you can do this with knees on the floor if you want to, okay? So you can just have knees down or you can have feet up, knees up and on your feet. So we're gonna bring the hips down so we know where our end position is now. So hips stay down and then take a breath in and then exhale, reach those hips up, coming into your mermaid, taking that side bend. Inhale, lower, control the last few little bits. And exhale, push up into that side bend. Inhale, lower. Good, then exhale, side bend. I'm just going to do the last one on my knees just so you can see how it looks if you're on your knees. Then exhale, side. Beautiful work. And coming back down. Before we go to the other side, we're just going to do a little bit in prone. So we're coming onto our belly now, into our cobra position. So elbows are wide in line with the shoulders, 90-degree angle at the elbow joint, and bring the head down. Find your neutral spine, your neutral pelvis. So you need to draw the navel toward the spine. Legs are a little bit wider than hip distance apart, and you have your feet slightly turned out. Okay, so once you've found your center, on an inhale, you're going to take your head off the floor, slightly extend through the neck, and then keep extending, 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 just a cobra prep. So don't come up all the way, and then come all the way back down again. One more just in Cobra Prep. So we're not going all the way up yet. We're just finding some mobilization through our upper back, keeping our lower back neutral, and then coming back down. Now, if you feel ready, you can go into full Cobra. So you can start to come up with the head. Then one vertebrae at a time, start to extend. Think about your back doing the work rather than your arms. And then we come all the way back down again, one vertebrae at a time. Good, let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling. You can, of course, exhale to come up, but I always prefer to inhale when I do extension, just because it suits, I just feel like it suits the body better to open into that extension on an inhale. But of course, if you prefer exhaling, you do you. Good, finding that hip extension at the top and coming all the way back down. Now, bringing the head down, we're going to take the arms overhead so that they are a little bit wider than the shoulders. And we're going to lift our upper body and our arms up at the same time. So again, I like to do it on an inhale. So I inhale, lift everything, and then I lower. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. So we're really strengthening those back muscles now. One more like this. And then lower. Good, now we're gonna do it with the legs, so double leg lift. So keep that spine in neutral, that tailbone long, and then as I like to exhale with my legs actually. So when I lift my legs, I exhale, and inhale, lower down. So exhale, lift those legs, work through the glutes, keep the legs completely straight, so it's from the hip joint, and inhale, lower down. Good, one more. And inhale, lower down. We're now going to combine them like the swan exercise. So I inhale, lift the arms and the upper body. And then as I exhale, I lift the legs and my upper body comes down. Inhale, my upper body comes up. Exhale, my lower body lifts up. Good, so it's like a seesaw here. You can also come back to home base before doing it, before swapping to legs or swapping to arms, just to reset. But if you can do both at the same time, you can do that. As in transition from one to the other at the same time. So whilst your upper body's going down, your legs are coming up. And as your legs are going down, your upper body is coming up. Good, one more. And then we rest all the way down. Beautiful work. Just take a quick shell stretch here. Bringing your hips back to your heels just to make some space through the spine. And then we will return to our side series on the other side. So now we're going to take the right hand down into, sorry, let's set that up properly. So we're going to be on our knees. So find your kneeling position, arms wide, and then take that side bend down with your right arm, lengthen the left leg long. So again, make sure that that right knee is under the right hip and your right hand is underneath your right shoulder. Left hand behind the head or the ear, not pressing the head forward. Pull the core in, and then lift that leg. Good, okay, so we're gonna take a flexed foot. We bring the leg forward, point the foot, bring the leg back. So exhale, flex the foot, leg forward. Inhale, come back. Good, keep going. If you wanna add a little more momentum to this, as long as you can keep stability of your pelvis, of your spine, nothing else is moving other than the leg, that's fine. You can take it a little quicker. Of course, if you need it to be slower, to add more control, slow it down. Good, one more. Good, and then resting down. Coming into that side plank now. So I always like to set up in side plank first so I know where I'm going and then I come down. So find your side plank, either knees or feet. And then you're gonna come down with those hips and then prepare. So arm down by your side, Take a breath in. Exhale, lifting all the way up and finding that side reach. Inhale, lower, control it into the floor. And exhale, push up. Good. As well, so remember this can be on your knees. And as well, if your wrists are not happy with this at all, and it feels more painful than strengthening for those wrists, you can do this on your forearm. However, you're not going to get as much side bend on your forearm, okay? Good, so let's just go for 2 more. Lovely, okay, and rest there. So now we're just going to come back into our shell stretch. So hips back on the heels, bringing the head down to the floor, reach the arms overhead. And then just breathe into your back body here. And come back to your hundreds breathing. So we inhale for 5 and exhale for 5. Breathing in and breathing out. Keep going with that breath. And just walk your hands over to the left side of the mat and bring your hips over your right heel. And you'll find the stretch in your right side body. So you're pulling your right hip away from the right hand, sending your breath into the right lung and opening up through that right side, through the right ribs. Can keep going with that hundreds breathing. And then to see if you can make it a little slower. Walking the hands over to the right side of the mat. Bring your hips over the left heel. So now you're in a side bend to the right, stretching out that left side body. So pull that left hip away from the left hand. Send your breath into that left lung. Maybe slowing down that breath that little bit more. So slower counts of 5. Just really directing the breath into the side ribs here, encouraging that lateral thoracic breathing. And then walking the hands back to center. We slowly roll all the way up to kneeling. And that is you all done. So I hope that you do feel invigorated now. And you've brought some nice positive energy into your body with all of that good work, especially all that core work. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time.